Well, with just a couple of changes, that pounded park became a productive park. Well, welcome to Finding America. It's really nice to see you here. Now, I was having a ton of fun at some very hard-hunted old spots of mine in last week's episode. And I was able to do that by making two simple changes on my Minelab Manticore. Now, that's all I did, but those changes made a world of difference on those old pounded spots. Well, I have to say, I was very impressed with the performance of those settings, and I knew just where I wanted to take the Manticore next. The old park that was built on top of an old Victorian neighborhood that itself was built on top of an old Civil War battlefield. Now, this place is an amazing spot to hunt, but it's been pounded since the early days of metal detecting and by myself and Chris for the past 20 years. Now, you might remember when I first got the Manticore, this park was one of the places I took it to first, and I found so much there, it was unbelievable. Now, a lot of the places I hunt are iron and trash infested, and these settings changes that I made are made to excel in exactly those conditions. Now, I headed back to the park and I chose the same areas that I'd already pounded with the Manticore before. And lo and behold, there were signals, lots of signals. I spent 8 hours of metal detecting and I came away with some awesome finds from start to finish. I had an absolute blast out there, and I really hope you all enjoy watching this one. Well, I am back at that amazing park that I really love to hunt. I found a lot of Civil War bullets and old coins here since I got the Manticore, but I was thinking about last week when I was running this all-terrain fast program and also running the audio theme in depth, and I was doing so well at some other places, and I thought, I gotta come back here and see what I can get. So I've been digging a lot of signals, which is a really good thing, because the last time I was here with Jason, we didn't get that many signals. So I'm happy with that. So this is actually the first noteworthy thing. Everything's been mason jars and all kinds of old junk, just digging it all out here. But this one was a real it was definitely a nice signal, but it was a tough one to get. About 6-7 inches underneath this root. Nothing too crazy, but I love a good splat. And this is a fired bullet that made contact probably with a boulder or a rock, but I mean, it flattened itself out like crazy. Now, we have a lot of Civil War relics in this area. You've seen me dig them out here. This is not one of them, but it's definitely an old bullet that made impact and was fired out here. So I really like it. That's pretty cool. And I'm also using the M9 coil, which I'm already in love with that thing. It really is a great coil. I love how slim it is. You see the profile of that thing? It is about half the width of a regular coil, and it's just really light, and it goes deep. So this was where I got that splatted bullet. Then I pulled a nail out, but I was still getting a 48 signal, and about 11 inches down, I had to work my way through all these roots. I don't like to cut them, not in a park. So I'm working all my way down there, and I finally break it loose. And check it out, that's pretty cool. A little bit, and that could definitely be from the Civil War period. Look at that little, I like that little jog it takes there. So that's pretty cool. It's definitely, I'd have to put it back in the 1800s, and it's possible it could be from the Civil War period. Gotten lots of bullets and 2 or 3 old buttons. I even got an eagle eye button out here. So very happy with that. And I'm gonna tell you something, this particular tree, I got like a 50s weedy here and a V-nickel over there in the past, a few videos ago, and I pounded this area around this tree to where there weren't any signals for me, and I was hunting in the general all-terrain program, and now I'm running it in the fast program with depth audio theme, and I pulled that 11 inches. Pretty darn cool. I will definitely take that. Well, this park is definitely getting busy, and so is my M9. Got another nice little signal here, 52, 54. Kind of hoping for a bullet. I popped the plug, dug down about 6 inches, right at the bottom of the plug. Look at that. Very cool looking buckle. So I want to pull that out, take a look at it. Wow, it's complete too. Might be a suspender buckle. Yeah, that's nice. Wow, look at that, it's all there. Definitely an oldie. So I'll get that cleaned up later, give you a better look at it, but I'm thrilled with that. And I mean, I have pounded this park to death, and then I pounded it again with the 900, and then again with the Manticore. And I just had to come back, and boy, I'm loving the results hunting in this program. Well, I might have something pretty cool on my drop cloth, and yeah, it was giving me like a low 40 signal, but nice, repeatable, not a very strong signal. I don't know, it could have been on its edge or something, but I dug it out, put it up on the drop cloth. Pinpointer told me it was up there, and I do see it, so I grabbed the camera because you can see it has an unusual shape to it, and let's find out what it is. I have no idea. What in the world? Oh, that's cool. I wonder if that's I don't know, it's got a post on the back, but not like an earring. Some type of a fastener post. Isn't that cool? It might have a little, I don't know, it might have a little stone in the center. Let me get this sprayed off and brushed. Very cool piece, and definitely looks pretty old. Oh, look at that thing. Isn't that awesome? I have no idea what it is, but it almost looks like the side profile of a face. Maybe like a Native American, or no idea. It's got this kind of headdress of feathers. And here's the other side, kind of the post goes straight through this thing. Isn't that weird? I don't know what it is, but it's pretty cool, and it's definitely old. And it looked like it was gold toned in the past, so hey, that's a great find. Amazing. That coil picked this up here. I've just pounded the heck out of this ground before. Well, might have something good in this one. It was giving me a real solid 25, both directions. I said it was about 3 inches down. I dug a plug. It was off just a little bit, so I gave it a pop, and I saw it right here, so I just put it down, grabbed the camera. Hey, looky there. A nickel. I like that. I'm hoping it's an old one. Yeah, it might be. I got a couple of V-nickels out of here last time. Yeah, this is no Jefferson. I'm laying money I might have got a V-nickel. Isn't that awesome? Nope, it's going to be a buffalo. I will definitely take that. You can definitely see the buffalo, the Indian chief's head right there. Oh, how cool is that? Wow, that was crazy. That wasn't even deep at all. So I've definitely got the separation going on with the general fast program, so it's definitely picking up some nice targets. I am so thrilled with that nice old coin, and let me get it cleaned off. I'll be right back. Maybe we'll be lucky enough to get a date. Well, there he is. It looks really nice, but a bit worn. Not able to get a date off it just yet. Might get lucky when I get home, but there's the backside with the buffalo. Love digging old nickels. Well, this next one was a really scratchy signal. I slipped it into all metal, and it cleared up some. I figured it was going to be some type of iron, but it just sounded intriguing. I don't know how to put it any other way. So I dug a plug almost 8 inches down. I finally got it up here, and it's another old harness piece, another old harness ring right here. So very cool. I'm definitely finding quite a bit of stuff. I'm just going really low and slow, and just wait until I hear the first blip, and then I just try to pull that blip out, just wiggling that coil over it, and yeah, and going for it, and I'm finding things. So that always makes a good day. Well, I had to move to a different part of the park here. It was getting a little busy, a lot of kids running around, but I love this section of the park. I found a lot of very cool things. I found a Morgan silver dollar here, an 1840s store token over by the second tree over there, and around here I found a lot of irons, the old sad irons, and I think I might have found something to one of them here. I was getting a 29. Had to go down pretty far, about 10 inches, and I think I might have gotten the handle to one. That's my best guess on this. So that's pretty cool. I think I found 3 sad irons here in one day, and yeah, I think that's the handle to one. Well, after a few more holes of trash, I got a pretty loud signal right here, like in the 30s, low 40s. So I dug a plug and I saw something right there immediately, and it was an old lug nut for a wheel, and I thought, well, shoot, at least we cleared it out. Ran my coil over it, and I was getting a pretty decent signal, right around 44. Wasn't as strong as that lug nut, but it was down there. So I dug down about 6-7 inches, and I finally got it out on the drop cloth, and you got to see it. I have no idea what this is. I know it's a pin, because look there, the pin is still on the back of it. Oh, I don't know if it's jewelry, it could be anything. It's old. I'm not sure. Oh my gosh. See, isn't this the best part? When you just don't know what it is. Okay, it looks like it held a rather, well, I don't know, it might not have held a stone. Wow, look at this thing. Man, this is nice. Beautiful brooch. That's awesome. Well, let me get a brush. I want to do it with 2 hands so I don't damage it. Well, check that out. Isn't that awesome? Now, I think there might have been a stone in the center, or a cameo, which is a darn shame. I will definitely go through the dirt, see if I can find it, but a lot of times this is the reason these things were discarded, or, well, I won't say lost on purpose, but they just threw them away because the stone fell out. And but I'm going to, this will be a good one for apple cider vinegar, and this should clean up pretty nicely. I left the dirt behind the pin. As long as you're in the field, leave that dirt behind the pin because it's helping to support it, and you don't want it breaking off. Well, I was getting a slamming signal, a 94. Of course, they said it was only 1 inch deep, so I'm thinking, it's probably something big and a bit deeper. And it was. Got in this hole. Oh, looks like I have part of a star. Hopefully it's a star find. I don't know. We'll see. But I thought it was going to be a can, but I just wanted to investigate a little bit more. And I think I can see some like the number 2 there, black painted on a white plate. So I think I have a license plate. Unfortunately, it's buried straight down, and the ground is not easy to dig in. So it's going to take me a little while, but I'd like to get this out to see what year it is. And if it is a license plate, it's the 3rd one I found in this park. I think the other 2 were both in the 60s. So, alright, here I go. I'm trying to dig this sucker out. Well, I got a little bit more of it cleared. I had to widen the hole, and I also had to dig with a hand digger. This particular park does not allow shovels, which I'm fine with. I never use a shovel to dig with anyway. But in this case, I'm almost wanting one. But it does look like a license plate. You can see the 2 now pretty clearly. And I just thought I'd show you my progress so far. And I'm going to get back at it here. Well, this is when a drop cloth really comes in handy, because you can put all the dirt that you're digging out on it, and then just drag the drop cloth there, tip it over, and put all the dirt back in the hole, and you don't have big dirt smears in a park or in someone's nice lawn. So always use that. I finally broke it loose, and it's kind of cool because once I cleared this corner out, I could see the date, Tennessee 63. Look at that, isn't that cool? Another 60s license plate, but it had bent and doubled back, so it wasn't totally straight down, but I ended up with not a totally straight plate. But isn't that cool? I love it. Hopefully I can get it straightened out. Look there, 62. It's got the Tennessee state outline right here, and over here it has a sticker which you never see on these plates still. That's a renewal sticker for 1963. That is awesome. Absolutely love it. And I'll work on getting it straightened out back at the house. Well, we went from sunny to cloudy, and now pretty good rain falling. I'll probably stick under the trees for a while. But I was chasing this signal, got a piece of garbage, but I got a couple nice eyeball finds. This is the first one I saw, and that is a nice old button right there, little sew-on button. So I was happy to have that. But this piece of glass that popped out, and I've been rinsing it off and trying to read it. I think it says "and Turner" and "pharmacist," and down here WN. It might be Morristown, Tennessee, so it might be an East Tennessee druggist medicine bottle. Isn't that awesome? I'm gonna do my best to see if I can find a match. At least I know part of the name and the town, I believe, and their business. So neat old piece. I'm gonna hang on to that one. This one was giving me a 29 to 31. I saw something flash up and then disappear, so I scooped the dirt out real quick, and sure enough I got a nickel, which I was very surprised because it was ringing up at 29 to 31. So I rubbed it off, and looks like I have a 1952, so I will definitely take that. And again, this is an area that I have pounded. I'm not very far from where I found the silver dollar in the middle of a bunch of iron during one hunt, and I know Chris, myself, and Jason have pounded this area, and still getting targets. Gotta love it. Well, this one was a 3132 on the VDI. Usually trash, but you never know. Dug down about 5-6 inches, threw the dirt up on the cloth, and saw something pop out. I think I know what it is. I was just taking a closer look at it without moving it. I think I might have a toy watch. Yeah, you can see the little, well, let this traffic go by. Yeah, you can see the little winder on the side. I really like these. Oh, maybe it isn't. Don't know. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I'm gonna have to get it cleaned up just a little bit and I'll be right back, but that's a neat piece. If that's what it is, that's probably gonna be 40s or 50s. Well, that's exactly what it was. A little girl's toy watch. And I have to say, it has a very ornate design all the way around it. And the lens is cracked, but I can almost see the hands and the hours underneath it. So, a very cool piece, and quite an old one. I will definitely take that. Well, I just got something very cool, I think. I don't know. Maybe not. Give me like a 5960, decent target. Not the greatest, but it was down there. It was reading about 7 inches, and I cut the plug and I just stuck my digger in there and kept pushing the dirt up, and then something came out, and it's round and it's pretty big. So I wanted to get the camera, and we're going to find out what this one is. Let's see. I don't know if I see anything on that. Man. Ooh, I do see something on this side. A lot of wording. Yeah, check that out. What in the world? Man, this thing is like bigger than a quarter. Hang on, I'm rubbing it off a little bit. I have no idea what this is. Wait a minute. This may be an old foreign coin. What in the world? This might actually be a really old presidential token. I don't know. I need to get this cleaned up a little bit. It's old, and it's brass, I think, or copper. Wow, I can see a bust right there. I'll be right back. Let me see what I got. Well, this definitely seems to be a very old presidential token. And I'm talking 1920s, 30s maybe. But I can see a bust. It's very worn. Someone really liked this piece and carried it around for a long time. We got some kids going by. But yeah, I'll have to get this cleaned up a little bit and see what I can figure out. But boy, it's old. That is an awesome piece. I tell you, it's absolutely amazing. Just a little running a different program, playing with the settings, and boom, all kinds of things coming out. I'll tell you, I absolutely love this Manticore. This was given me, gosh, I can't even remember. I'm trying to remember here. I think it was in the 40s. And it was repeatable both ways. 45, that's what it was. And but I could see it was kind of a weird smear, a nice little long signature on the screen. So I'm like, well, let's check it out. I dug the first plug. I was off just a little bit, so I popped this one out, and look what is sticking out. Isn't that cool? Got a pretty sweet little pocket knife. Look at that. Boy, that's in good shape too. It's a case knife. You can still read it right there. I don't think it was dropped too terribly long ago. Well, I am absolutely having a blast with these settings on the Manticore today. And we got some traffic going by us, but it's a busy road here. But I am just finding signals in a part of the park that we jokingly talk about being barren. I mean, it's tough getting signals here. We pounded it for 15 years. But I've been on my knees for the last hour and a half digging signal after signal. Not always great, but a signal is something to be celebrated over here. And this one was giving me a 44. Said it was a long signature. And hey, what can I say? It wouldn't be a Funny America episode without one of these. I knew you were going to come out sometime. Yep, business end of a railroad spike. I always enjoy when I'm able to fit one or at least one awesome train picture in an episode. Well, I would say this is a really good example of why I dig it all. I was going along and I got a nice signal. It was a 54, and it was a nice conductive target. There were definitely some iron signatures elsewhere on my screen, but I went for it and didn't know what to expect. Maybe a brooch or something, and out popped a penny, and I thought, wow, at those numbers I'm definitely going to have an Indian. But no, what I ended up with is a beautiful green wheatie. And it was about 8 inches down. And yeah, this one looks like it's going to be in the teens as well. But it was all the iron in this area that knocks the numbers down. And you can't sit there, in a lot of areas that you hunt, you just can't sit there waiting for the perfect number to come up. You know, a 70, like this would ring up a 70 normally. You can't wait on an 88. Because the iron will drag down the numbers. So it's always a good benchmark. It's like if you get a nice clean one and you're in a clean field, you know, it's fun. 88, 89, you got a quarter. But they don't usually come out like that, not in the real world. And this is really cool. And yeah, 8 inches of wheatie, some might say, oh, you know, yeah, my machine could pick that up easy. But it's really not about being able to go deep. It's about being able to separate and process the signals and the information fast. You know, this thing, the processing on this machine, and it is just killer at separating, especially in the iron. And that's why it's able to pick these things out that we've missed in the past. So I'm thrilled with that. Well, this is definitely an old signal, kind of cool too. It was giving me a 43, strong signal, really deep, probably 11 inches. It came out of the bottom of that hole, way down there. But it was only repeatable in one direction. But it sounded so good in the one direction, I'm like, I'm just going for it. It turned out to be iron, but it's pretty darn cool. I knocked the dirt off of it, and here it is. I believe this is a bolt to a very old padlock. Oh baby, I think I got something very cool in the hole. It is sitting in the hole just the way I saw it. I don't know what it is, but so many times when I'm heading back to the car and I'm getting a little tired and I'm thinking, man, let's just turn this off and go home. But I'm like, no, you keep swinging all the way to the parking lot. And I got to this area. Now you can see the rocks in the ground here. I mean, we pounded this area. I found Civil War buttons and bullets and Chinese cash coin and all kinds of things. I found a license plate here, another license plate. And I'm coming up and I get like a 27. And it was giving me it was 27 and it was giving me a vertical line. So I knew something was, well, I don't know, it doesn't always, but it was pretty much telling me that it could have been something on edge. So I'm thinking, well, what the heck, 27 is not the greatest number in the world. But I dug a plug and I stuck my digger into the hole and gave it a pop, and look what popped out of this hole. You see that? I about freaked out. I got some kind of a badge. I don't know if it's a police badge. I don't know. But it's so cool. I can see the eagle. So let's pull this out and we'll see what I got. Oh, I know what it is already. Look at there. It's a AAA. Yep. Look at that. AAA patrolman. Holy cow. That thing was standing right on edge. Look at that. School Safety Patrol. AAA patrolman. And it is... Look at the condition of this thing. That's incredible. How many times did we pass over this thing? And everyone else and their brother that owns this park. And this thing was sitting in the ground like that. And that 9-inch coil and that Manticore got it. Oh my gosh. You know, Chris found one of these, I don't know, about 4 years ago on my channel. And his was in beautiful condition, and I was like, man, I want to find one of those one day. Well, it took a while, but I got one. Man, is that thing beautiful or what? Oh, I can't get enough of it. That is just incredible. Well, I've only got a little bit more way to the parking lot, but you can count on me that I'm going to be swinging a little bit on the way. Oh, that's so sweet. Well, that last find really blew me away. That amazing old thin badge was sticking straight up in the ground, and the Manticore hit it with ease. I tell you, I had some great results. I had an amazing time, and I'm definitely heading back to that park again. Now, if you'd like to watch more Finding America fun, just stick around to the very end of this episode where you'll find a link to another Finding America episode to watch. And remember, it's history that makes a find a treasure. And I can't wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.